Wild card is in there deep. And our first storyteller is going to be Maggie Nuttall, everybody. Maggie Nuttall. She's here somewhere. Oh, here she comes. Here she comes. Clap it up, everybody. Yep. And one more time, just so she gets warm stage. There you go. Hi, I'm Maggie Nuttall, and my current day job is at an answering service. You have a toy somewhere in your apartment that's broken, and you call that toll-free number on the side of the box, and you're going to get me, and I'm going to take down all your information, and I'm going to email it to China. One day, this woman calls up, and she says, "Oh, this is terrible. My child's heart is broken. The toy doesn't work. This is a tragedy." "I'm so sorry. I'm going to send an email to the child that made your toy." Okay, I didn't say that to her, okay? Though those very words were on the tip of my tongue, I cannot say those words at all because I work at an answering service. I work at a call center. I'm a very small cog in a very big tool. And the thing is, you're supposed to intake information and then dispense it to the appropriate person without editorial, without judgment of any kind. Now, call center you can easily imagine. So I am an artist and I like to transcend things, and I like to believe I work in an environment what I call an employment purgatory, where, do you remember the end of Superman 2, right? Where they put all those evil people into that mirror and hung them out in space. That's where I am, minus all the evil, okay? So I am the person that picks up the phone when your husband is having a heart attack in the cab and you're trying to reach the doctor. I calm you down, I grab the information, I push it off to the doctor. You know, that's in New York. And if you're in a elevator bank in Houston, Texas, and you press that button for emergency, then I dispense the emergency staff to get you out of the elevator. If you're calling from Alabama and you're reporting a meth lab in your neighborhood, well, I'm taking down that information and dispensing it to the volunteers that run that organization. If you're addicted to narcotics and you need to find a meeting, I'll give you that information, no questions asked, because I'm not an addict and I have no advice to give you. If you need to order your porn, and this one guy from East LA was ordering over $1,000 worth at $5 and $10 a DVD unit, and as I was putting in yet another live butts into his shopping cart, he stops and says, "You must think I'm a pervert." And to my silence, I said, "Well, is there anything else you'd like to purchase?" He says, "You know, I do this for a reason. I'm from Mexico. My family is in Mexico. I have to pay for their passage. I buy these in bulk and I sell them $20 each so I can save money and bring my family to the United States to lead a better life." And I say, "Thank you, have a nice day." There's your porn. Okay. During the healthcare bill that was so hot in Arizona, I answered those phones too. And I heard a lot of things that were not very attractive. You know, they were calling it the black bill, but they weren't using black. They weren't using bill. They were using all array of other words. And I said, "Well, thank you very much. I'll note that down and let them know, your congressman in Arizona, know what you were thinking. Thank you for your call." I also hear from people, grown men and women, who are literally crying on the phone because they just lost their house. And I hear that in the Dakotas, in Detroit, Michigan, in Dayton, Ohio, in all of Florida, in Alabama, and Nevada. And see, I answer phones, and I'm listening to America every single day. And almost every other call these past 2 years are people looking for work, and those other calls are those machines that say you owe money. And some of you have gotten those, and that's a horrible thing on your machine. So I listen to America on the ground floor. I hear the news before you do. I hear the results. And I have to listen and not impart any judgment. And people ask me what to do, this distinctive voice that sounds authoritative. And I say constantly, I have no advice to give. Now, I've been doing this. I've been in this job, purgatory, for over 10 years. And I've been answering phones for 25, and I myself have fielded over 1.5 million phone calls. Yeah. And if anything, I've learned that people, and it doesn't matter how old you are, where you're from, your background of any kind, people tend to respond most to buzzwords, and those are words that have a buzz around them. That's that white noise. They'll hear the word, and then they won't hear anything else. And people will pass buzzwords back and forth to one another in the mistaken idea that that's an actual conversation, and often it is confused with public debate. You know, like customer service, management, product specialist, liberal, conservative, Democrat, Republican, red state, blue state. And what I've learned over the years that these words become shot-worn, and they atrophy and harden. And it gets to the point where there's no more conversation, not even an attempt. And when you see debates, it's more like looking at a bunch of third graders throwing rocks at each other at recess, and nothing gets done. And in the end, what is left? What have we won? So, if you go out and vote tomorrow, vote for what you believe in. At least I'm going to try to. Thank you very much. My name is Maggie Nuttall.